Ambassador Zethkar adjusted his crystalline breathing apparatus as he reviewed the holographic displays floating before him. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with nervous energy, representatives from 47 species murmuring in their native tongues. At the center of the debate was a small blue-green world on the outer rim of a minor spiral arm, a planet the locals called Earth. "This is preposterous," hissed Representative Vexali, her serpentine form coiling in agitation. "We cannot possibly be considering membership for such a primitive species. They've barely achieved faster-than-light travel." Zethkar's 4 eyes studied the data streams. The humans had indeed only broken the light barrier 3 standard cycles ago, making them technological infants compared to civilizations like his own Korthani Empire, which had mastered interstellar travel for over 10,000 years. "Their technology is crude," agreed Counselor Thraxon, his massive exoskeleton clicking as he shifted. "Their ships are held together with what they call duct tape and determination. Half their systems run on combustible fuel. It's embarrassing." The debate continued for hours, until Fleet Admiral Quinn requested permission to speak. The grizzled Zentaurian's battle scars gleamed under the chamber's lights as she activated a new holographic display. "Honored colleagues, you focus on what humanity lacks, but you ignore what they possess in abundance." She gestured to tactical readouts from recent border skirmishes. 3 months ago, the hegemony launched a surprise attack on the Kepler mining station. The humans had a single outdated destroyer in the sector, the UES Defiant. Murmurs rippled through the assembly. Everyone knew about Kepler. The hegemony had sent an entire battle group to seize the valuable rare earth deposits. The human captain, a female named Sarah Chen, received distress calls from 17 different mining platforms across the system. Logic dictated she should retreat and call for reinforcements. Quinn paused dramatically. Instead, she did something no rational being would attempt. The hologram shifted to show the battle's progression. The tiny human ship, barely a speck against the massive hegemony dreadnoughts, began an impossible dance through space. Captain Chen used her ship's primitive nuclear reactor as a weapon. She overloaded it, ejected it near the enemy flagship, then used a mining laser to detonate it at precisely the right moment. The explosion disabled 3 ships immediately. Gasps echoed through the chamber. Using one's own power source as an improvised weapon was beyond reckless. It was insane. But that wasn't the end, Quinn continued. With her ship dead in space, Chen convinced the miners to rig their excavation charges to her remaining missiles. They created the most unstable, dangerous ammunition in recorded history. The explosions were so chaotic that hegemony targeting systems couldn't track the debris patterns. The tactical display showed the aftermath. A hegemony retreat. 17 mining platforms saved, and 1 human destroyer that should have been space dust somehow limping back to port. "This is madness, not strategy," protested Representative Klesch, his mandibles clicking anxiously. "Any sensible species would have evacuated." "Exactly my point," Quinn replied. "Humans don't think like us. Where we see impossible odds, they see puzzles to solve. Where we calculate acceptable losses, they find unacceptable solutions." Zethkar found himself leaning forward despite his reservations. "Continue, Admiral. Last week, we intercepted hegemony communications discussing Earth. They're not planning invasion. They're planning to flee in the opposite direction. Do you know why?" Silence filled the chamber. Because humans don't just fight with ships and weapons. They fight with everything. Their internet, a primitive but vast communication network, has been flooded with tactical discussions. Millions of them are designing new weapon systems, sharing strategies, creating simulations. Not their military, their civilians, children, are submitting battle plans that our war colleges would call brilliant. She activated another display showing intercepted human transmissions. Forums filled with engineering diagrams, chemists sharing explosive formulas, programmers developing AI battle algorithms. The humans have something we've forgotten after millennia of civilization, Quinn Ross continued. They have what they call spite. When threatened, they don't just fight back. They innovate out of pure stubbornness. Counselor Thraxon shifted uncomfortably. Surely their primitive infrastructure... Their infrastructure is their strength, Quinn Ross interrupted. Every human settlement, no matter how small, can become a fortress. They build their cities like puzzles, with redundant systems and hidden passages. Their supply chains don't collapse, they adapt. The display shifted to show human colony, worlds. What had appeared to be simple agricultural settlements revealed hidden manufacturing capabilities, buried defense systems, and civilian populations that could be mobilized within hours. 3 days ago, a human child named Marcus Webb, age 12, sent a message to our fleet. He had designed a modification to our shield generators that would improve efficiency by 37%. Our best engineers spent 2 centuries perfecting those systems. Zethkar felt a chill run through his crystalline spine. A child? The human education system doesn't just teach knowledge, it teaches problem-solving. They give their young broken things and ask them to fix them. They present impossible scenarios and reward creative solutions. Every human is trained from birth to look at problems we consider unsolvable and ask, but what if we tried this? The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity wasn't just another species seeking membership. They were a wild card that could reshape galactic warfare, science, and philosophy. Ambassador Zethkar stood slowly. Motion to fast-track human membership, with full technological sharing privileges. Seconded, came voices from across the chamber. Representative Vexali coiled tighter. You're all making a mistake. Humans are unpredictable, dangerous. Exactly, Zethkar replied. And I'd rather have them as allies than let our enemies figure out what we just learned. The vote was unanimous. 3 months later, when the hegemony's main fleet encountered human-modified Korthani battleships crewed by mixed human-alien teams, the war ended in 6 hours. The humans had taught their new allies something that no advanced civilization had ever mastered: how to fight dirty. Earth was indeed just a backwater planet, until the galaxy discovered that sometimes backwater breeds the most dangerous currents of all.